Hello everybody. So I haven't been on YouTube for quite some time. Been super busy with work, life in general. You know what it's like with kids, animals. Well, kids, one kid, animals, family life, work. Work has been absolutely manic. Uh, yeah, taking over basically. And I spend a lot of time obviously by the pond and enjoying the pond this year rather than doing YouTube videos constantly. um, it was taking a lot of time. It was taking a lot of time to film, to edit, and I needed a break. I'm still here, still around. The animals are still doing well. The life is good in general, and the fish are doing super well. Yep, somebody's quite peaceful there. Nice to see. Everything is doing well in the garden. Roses are growing nicely. You can see that plant over there is still going massive underneath the acer. And the acer, as usual, too big to frame. Chickens are doing well as usual, as you can see, enjoying their bit of grass. Matilda is doing well, protecting her food. Hello, big girl. So, like a lot of people this year, I've been massively affected by this black, slimy algae that grows, you know, on your pond walls and your pond floor. So I had to take drastic actions, and I've recorded a bit of video to show you what exactly I had to do to get rid of it. It was a bit drastic, but it had to be done, and I'm so glad I have done it. So in my case, I know exactly why this has happened. It's because in January or February, I had an attack of white spot, and I decided to, after a treatment, I decided to do also some chloramine tea treatment. That was also following the Kujaku being really poorly. And of course this I completely killed, because it was a 3-day treatment, quite a heavy dose as well. It completely killed the fluff that was on my pond walls, which is, you know, the healthy ecosystem of your pond is a natural filtration. Everything died. Everything, literally everything, all the fluff died on the algae. The algae, sorry, died on the pond walls, on the floor. I had loads of bits floating about, and I couldn't cope with it. I couldn't cope with the EasyPod overflowing constantly, and other filtration that I had to clean far too often. So I decided to take drastic action, and I'm just going to show you what I filmed as I was doing it. Anyone for a mud bath? Where I scraped all the walls with my my Laguna brush. It had to be done. The pond is almost filled back up, and the water is clear. Nice to see. So tomorrow I'm going to hoover the floor and then lay settle again, and then I will have to do a treatment with FMG, because I've got the funny feeling I've disrupted a lot of crap in there. But wonderful to see, I've got no more black walls. Don't know if you can see. It's now green, and under all that black stuff, the green leaf fluff is trying to grow, really. So it was drastic, but I'm glad I've done that. Here we go again, brushing the floor. you can see how much stuff is coming off the bottom. So it took me 6 clean of the Easy Pod and 6 clean of the pressure filter before the multi-bay and the brushes, and we are finally there. 24 hours later, I can finally see my fish. So this is the Laguna brush that I've been using to do the walls and the floor. I was also using Maleo Hoover, so it's quite a harsh brush, but it was definitely needed. Really good brush. If you need a brush like that, I really highly recommend the Laguna brush. It comes with an extended pole. You can extend it to 3 meters. Yeah, 3 meters. I just want to show you that as well. This is bits of mind your own business that I've cut from my shower, growing nicely in my Maleo pot. A few more carnivorous plants to be added to my collection. I can't resist them. Look at this. I found them amazing. That's definitely helped with my pond, or my filter should I say, over the last 2 years. I haven't had one black fly larvae in my filters since I've been using those carnivorous plants all around the pond. So if you remember here, I had 2 of those planters in here, and this was part of my waterfall. But what I discovered is that I had a lot of crude at the bottom, and I couldn't cope with that. I had to, each time I've got to take this panel off, go at the back, take the panel off, hoover it, and I can't be bothered. As simple as that. So I decided to remove it, and also obviously the major reason why I decided to remove it is because I had a leak underneath. So all I've done is I've removed it. I just put some trays here with real plants, compared to over there, this one is just fake plants. So those are the ferns that I bought, and the little, I don't know how you call them. No idea what the plant is. I just divided it in 2, and it's already grown in the last 2 weeks. It's grown majorly. And what I've done is, so coming out of the moving bed, I've got the pipe coming out from here, and it used to go in the planter, where I just diverted it and put it directly coming out directly in the pond. So I've just stopped the air for you to be able to see. So you can see the pond has really changed since last year. There's some red, which is quite unusual for my pond. It was time to add a bit of red in this pond. So the first one who arrived was this showa that I got at the auction. So he arrived very skinny, but he has finally caught up with with the weight. And then of course in my last video you've seen the tank, Maruyama Kendai Showa. Sorry about the reflection. They are eating the rest of the algae. Now that the air is off, they can munch on the algae. The chag is doing super well. You can see the netting. Hopefully you can see the netting forming because of the sun, because even if I don't get direct sun on my pond, but with the light, and they're all doing super well. So the new arrival are this Deutsch Kohaku. He's a linear Kohaku, which means he's got you can see it just slightly there. He's got a line of scales on the side, which is quite rare for a Kohaku. And then the Deutsch Showa arrived very skinny as well. But he has now put all his weight back on, so he can now concentrate on his growth. I can now concentrate on his growth. So of course they arrived with parasites, so it was gill flukes, which I had to treat immediately for. Skin flukes is not too much of a problem. from my experience and previous experiences, skin flukes have never been a problem. Managed to get rid of them very quickly. The gill flukes is another matter because it stays in their gills. It also lives on their body, but they lay eggs, and this is the most dangerous out of the two flukes. Is the most dangerous one, obviously. Yeah, big girl is still munching on the. When the air is off, she always does that. She goes and munches on the algae that is on the pipe. Sorogoi has again her darker grey on her, which is nice. That's why I love her during the summer. In the winter she becomes very pale with a pink pale face, but in summer she gets her grey face and a nice netting on her back, which makes the Guinea really pop. Sorry. Oh, this reflection. Oh, they're all at it now. Alright, so there's a bit of red in the pond. Still a lot of single colour, but you know my love for the chags and the mukashis. You can see the mukashi is packing the weight on. She has grown in terms of width, a little bit in length as well. She's 5 years old now. The two chags here are, this is the Hirasawa and that's the Adambaya chag. They're never going to be massive chags, they are both males. And obviously you can see a little one here, which is the New Guinea Karashigoi from Kunikoi. Yeah, single color again. So everything is calm. You get a bit of foam now that I've removed the air, so it's not pushing it towards the skimmer. You can see that the mukashi is here carrying a bit of eggs. So I think this week I'm going to have to put the spawning brushes in the evening. You can really see the activity. The chags are sandwiching the mukashi and the Mariama Showa. They get sandwiched all the time by those two chags, so I'm going to put the spawning brushes this week because I've got a funny feeling that they're going to spawn. I had a very late spawning last year. The mukashi spawned in September, which is very, very late, but I can see that she's carrying a lot of eggs, so I'm going to have to deal with that very, very soon. We're going to try to do it the natural way, just with the spawning brushes. And if it doesn't cause her any problems, if I feel she's alright, then I will leave her. Otherwise, I'm not going to say too much on this video, but otherwise there are ways to get rid of the eggs, obviously, which I might have to, because I don't want her to get any problems. But you can see the pond is very good. The parameters are good. Not suffering too much with nitrite this year. I had these terrible problems last year due to the very, not very bad, but not very good, should I say, let's be positive, tap water. So I'm still, you know, I've added more purification from the tap water to go to my pond, but I still have high level of aluminium, zinc and iron, which obviously is not very good. In terms of food, I am mixing the sake curry balance with my trusted ProBite Summer. So they get, on the automatic feeder, they get fed 3 times on automatic and 4 times manually. And every other day I give them some calci worms, which I will show you in a minute. For now, let's put the air back on. I'm going to try to do that without disrupting too much the video, because I'm holding my phone. Still a bit weird to see that red in the pond. I'm still getting used to it. So fish have been fed, and this is what is remaining from that water. So I was just discussing this with my group, and some valid comments there saying that it might not necessarily go directly in the water because the fish eat the calci worms pretty straight away, so it hasn't got time to soak. But my concern is that it will still come out within their urine. So I just feel that whatever tinge I can remove straight away is probably better for me, for my pond, for my fish, for my water. I prefer to remove it. So this is what is left. That's it for me this week. I hope you've enjoyed this little update. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I haven't been on YouTube for quite some time. I'm very busy with work and the pond and the animals, so a break was needed from YouTube. I'm not going to go too much into details, but a break was needed. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully see some of you at the National this weekend. Take care. Bye for now.